Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. How have you been? Good? Good. Have you noticed any difference here? No? You notice her? Tisa, you notice her? She's different.
She's different?
Isn't she?
I thought she's the same person.
She's the same person, but different role now. Yeah. Should congratulate her. Starting a new life. Yeah? You recognize her?
I do recognize her. What do you mean by new life?
She's a nun. She's an office nun now.
Oh, she's okay. Officially, she's a nun then.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, just this past Sunday, she took up. Yeah, she took up the vows.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So, her new Dhamma name is Dao Xin Xin. Dao, most of you are Dao. Most of you are Dao. Dao Xin Xin. Or you want to call her in the Cantonese way, Dou San. Dou San Si. Easier. Dou San Si versus is easier. Yeah, Dou San Si is easier. Dao Xin Si is sort of like, yeah. Anyway, so we are starting on chapter 4 today. I always like this chapter. Because this chapter actually reminds us of our role, different role that we adopt, and sometimes we forget. A lot of times we forget, especially for those who actually, the parents are not here, we do tend to forget, those roles. But anyway, so in the introduction, Bhikkhu Bodhi actually wrote a very wonderful introduction on this. But you can go home and read this. But I mean, all the introduction that he wrote in this book are wonderful because it gives you a really thorough summary of what to follow in the following chapter. But in this chapter, he actually wrote. He said, as the king of the Dhamma, the Buddha takes up the task of promoting the true good, welfare, and happiness of the world. That is on page 108 if you want to read it, the last paragraph. And he does so by teaching the people of the world how to live in accordance with the Dhamma and behave in such a ways that they can attain realization of the same liberating Dhamma that he realized through his enlightenment. So we are no different. So he came into this world, he went through a life as a householder, and he took up an ascetic life for 6 years. Then he eventually sat down and attained enlightenment. And then when he actually achieved his enlightenment, he was invited to come out and teach, and he did eventually come out and teach. And what he taught is no different than what he has experienced in his enlightenment. So that's what this whole paragraph is talking about. So he wanted us to actually understand his teachings and practice his teachings so that we could eventually realize or attain the enlightenment that he has attained. So that's why he always say, you and me are equal. And all the beings on earth in this universe are equal. Equal in what sense? Not equal in the sense of gender, not equal in the sense of wealth, not equal in the sense of fame or status, but equal in the true nature of our Buddhahood, the Buddha nature. That means the real deep quality that we all have, which yours Buddha nature is no different than mine. My Buddha nature is no different than yours. And your Buddha nature is no different from a Buddha nature of a dog or a cat or even a worm. Of course, being a worm, they need to have many more lives before they become a human being again. And even as a human being, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be walking on the path of the Dhamma. Right? Look at us. We're just a handful of people in this place every Tuesday, but there are how many people in Chilliwack? 70,000, maybe 100,000 now. So it's just a handful here practicing or studying. But even though us, handful of us studying, but are we all practicing diligently, like what the Buddha said? No. Some of us sometimes are very lazy and slacking off. And some of us are taking the teachings as philosophy or as knowledge. But remember last week we talked about the 3 types of wisdom? The first type is just by reading and studying. That's the sutta, mayapana. And the second one is cinta, is by what? By pondering and contemplating, understanding. And the third one is bhavana. Bhavana, mayapana. Bhavana is by cultivation, by developing. So it's very different, these 3 types. And so many in the West, I find that a lot of people are into the sutta, mayapana, into the studying, into the reading, into the knowledge, and actually, I don't know how what's the percentage of those who are really going into the practice. So by studying, you think that we eventually they will reach that final goal? No, it's only by bhavana. The third type of wisdom, bhavana, mayapanya. So we need to study, but yet the most important thing is we need to practice. Okay, practice is really the most important of all. Even though we might not be able to be fluent in all these theories, all these philosophies, all these teachings, doesn't matter. As long as you are able to actually try to implement whatever that you have learned from here throughout your life and practice it in your life and be like what I said just now in meditation, is become part of your life, becomes the way how you live your life. That's important. Okay, so and here he said in the Pali commentaries, it actually demonstrates the really broad scope of the Dhamma by distinguishing there are 3 types of benefits that the Buddha's teachings is intended to promote. And these 3 types of benefits are graded, hierarchical, like in a hierarchy. So which 3 types of benefits? Let's look at it. The first one is welfare and happiness directly visible in this present life by fulfilling one's moral commitments and social responsibilities. Can somebody give me an example on this? Welfare and happiness directly visible in this present life by fulfilling one's moral commitments and social responsibilities. Anybody has any idea of this? What about just moral commitments? welfare and happiness directly visible in this present life by fulfilling or by adopting or by abiding to one's moral commitments.
You feel calmer.
You feel calmer, yeah. You won't be scared. You won't worry. If we are fulfilling those moral commitments, that means we don't kill, we don't steal, we don't lie, we don't commit sexual misconduct, and we don't take intoxicants that will allow a mind to become so blurred, so unstable that it's very likely that person will have a greater chance to breach those, or to kill, to steal, to commit sexual misconduct, and to lie, right? So when we are committed to moral commitments or to morality, to the practice of morality, so we don't have to worry so much. Then we don't have to be scared that we will get caught, or to be scared that somebody will know that I have sexual misconduct, or the husband catch you, or the wife catch you, right?
Less stress.
Yeah, of course. Less anxiety, less stress, right? And okay, so what about by social responsibilities?
Being kind to your neighbors.
Exactly.
Not causing any harm to your neighbors or neighborhood or
Exactly.
people at work.
Exactly. So social responsibility is you want to keep the community a harmony, safe and clean, right? Sometimes I remember we used to clean our back fence, right? And we can see, horrible garbage there. It's just like the back, this along the fence is like a garbage dump there. So is that social responsible? No. Also, okay, when we drive on the highway, we see, especially in the summer, patches being burned, road. Just last week we drove down to Abbotsford, and there was smoke on a part of the median. Somebody must have flicked their cigarette butt over and just started to burn. We are not responsible. We are not keeping that really safe and secure environment for people, for others, or for ourselves, right? So that's welfare and happiness. So if we actually fulfill our moral commitment and social responsibilities right now, right here, this right here, we will be happy, we will be at ease all the time. And then the second one is welfare and happiness pertaining to the next life attained by engaging in meritorious deeds. So what about this one? What does he mean by meritorious deeds?
Gaining merit.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing.
Yeah. Generosity. Yeah. Generosity, giving, or not killing. Mm-hmm. Even though not killing, if in this lifetime, if we don't kill, next lifetime, what do we have? Long life, longevity. And a generosity this lifetime. What happens next lifetime? Fortunate rebirth, yeah. And what about if you're really fortunate rebirth to become a human being? What kind of life do you think that human being will live? Prosperity and wealth. and wealth. So, that is not just this lifetime. Okay, you're being generous. You can reap welfare and happiness right this lifetime, but those benefits carry over to the next lifetime. Okay, because this lifetime you become you generous. You actually generate a lot of merits. But of course, the intention is more important than the act. If your intention is wanting to get the merits, sorry, you get very little merits. But the intention is really trying to help or trying to alleviate others' problems, difficulties, then the merits that you will get is enormous. Okay? Everything goes back to the mind that counts. Okay? So the third one is the ultimate good or supreme goal, nibbana, final release from the cycles of samsara attained by developing the Noble Eightfold Path. Of course, I mean this is we talk about the ultimate freedom, the release from all sufferings, and this the only path that will actually release us from all this suffering is really follow very strictly and with strong determination on the Noble Eightfold Path. So who can volunteer to tell me what are the 8 parts on this path? Right speech? Huh? Right view? Okay.
No.
Yes, right concentration, but you're all jumping all everywhere.
So right action.
Right actions go with right speech, okay? Right wisdom. Is that part of it? No, that's samadhi is the first part, right view. Huh?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, okay. Say in Pali.
Well, the first one is Eightfold Path. First one is Samadhi.
Samadhi, that's good, right? What is that in English?
Right view or right perspective.
Okay. Then second
The
is,
second one is Sammasankappa.
what is Sammasankappa?
I'm not too sure about the translation of that. I can tell you the other thing.
Okay. Right thought?
Some people define it in different ways.
Right endeavor?
Yeah, Samadhi, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva.
Okay, what are these 3? Samma vacha is right speech?
Samma Ajiva, right livelihood.
Right livelihood? Yeah, Samma ajiva, right livelihood.
And then what did I say?
Samma kamma
Samma Kamma.
is right actions.
Right action.
Yeah, bodily actions, right?
Yeah.
2,
And then the other 2 are Samma Samadhi and
3.
Samma Samadhi. No,
Samma
Sati
sat.
and Samma Samadhi. Yeah.
No, one more.
No, those are 8. Sati,
Samasati is mindfulness.
mindfulness, that is 7. 8.
That is 6. Samadhi, Sammasankappa, Samma ajiva, Samma
Vacha.
vacha, Samma kamma,
Samma Vaya.
Samma vayam.
Yeah, right effort.
Right effort, very
Right
good,
effort.
yes.
And after that,
Samma
Sati.
sati,
Samma Samadhi.
Samma samadhi. So it's nice to know the Pali term. Okay, Samma sati is right mindfulness. Okay, and Samma samadhi is right concentration. Right? Okay, so remember this is our path. And if you don't remember this path, how are you going to practice this path? Right? remember this path, the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, so that is the brief introduction that I'm going to talk about. So let us go to the page on where the chapter 4, the happiness visible in this life. So upholding the Dhamma in society, the Blessed One said, monks, even a wheel-turning monarch, a just and righteous king, does not govern his realm without a co-regent. So the monk said, who is the co-regent of this king, of this monarch? The co-regent is Karma? Dhamma. Good. The Dhamma. And the law of righteousness. What does he mean by the law of righteousness? What is in the law of righteousness? What counts as the law of righteousness? Huh? Honoring the Dhamma. That comes, that's the attitude. But the Dhamma, the law of righteousness, what does he mean by the law of righteousness?
Is that morality?
What is right in Pali? Samma. Samma. Everything samma. Right? Samma is right or skillful. Okay, Samma, S-A-M-M-A. We talk about the Eightfold Noble Path. It starts with Samma. Everything starts with Samma. Samma Dikti, Samma Sankalpa, that means skillful or right thought, skillful or right endeavor. Right? So the law of righteousness, that means the law of what? Sammaness. Sammaness. Okay. So he said, so when the just and righteous king relying, so how come the king is called a righteous king, the just and righteous king? What does he rely on? And how does he address the Dhamma? How does he look at the Dhamma?
As a teaching path. As a truth. Teaching pathway.
Okay. How does he do it? It's in there.
Lawful protection, shelter and safety.
Okay. But before that, he rely on it. Rely on it. How does he address? How does he look at the Dhamma? How does he use the Dhamma? Which paragraph? 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth paragraph, the third line. He relies on it, right? The second line. Relying on the Dhamma. Exactly, honoring the Dhamma. Why? Why relying on the Dhamma? Why relying on the Dhamma?
He relies on it to keep him on the right path.
Exactly. It's just like we rely on the light to lit up the path while we walk over to where we park. Right? We rely on it. And we rely on our eyes to be able to see, right? Even the path is lit up, but if our eyes are not okay, we can't see. We're just like blind men. Then we honor. Why is honoring so important? Huh? Respect, very good. So when one respects, that means one's arrogance is minimal. right? If one, remember I have always talked about this, is if one is not humble enough, if one is not humble, one will not respect. If one doesn't respect, one will become more arrogant. And it's a very vicious cycle. If one becomes arrogant, and one will respect less again. And when one doesn't respect more, then one become more arrogant. So it's a very vicious cycle. So we really need to remember honoring. And then esteeming. So is there a difference between honoring and esteeming?
Yes.
How?
If you hold something in esteem, you actually do hold it as a higher teaching or a higher.
Than you.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Then there is respecting. So this is how the king actually addresses the Dhamma. So he said, a will-turning monarch, a just and righteous king who thus provides lawful protection, shelter and safety for all, is the one who rules by Dhamma only. So with the Dhamma as our standard to live our life, right? And also as a banner. Why would be a banner? Why would we use the Dhamma as a banner? What does he mean by a banner here? Is banner a sign?
Like a flag when people hold it dearly, when people march, or when people in the past have gone to war, and the representation of what the value is to yourself and supposedly to others.
Yeah. So when we hold the Dhamma as a banner, that means we hold that value that Dhamma provides in our heart. Right? Are you with us? Okay, good. Sovereign. So this sovereignty is not like the sovereignty that, so many other countries are behaving, right? People want to expand their kingdom. But in here, what do you think it represents?
Again, a higher learning, teaching.
Anybody else?
Isn't it like isolated or something?
Sovereign? No.
Like by itself?
No.
I'm thinking sovereign rule. It's like standard, but it's the rule, the laws.
It's the rule, the law. How should I put it? Governing, yes. Yes, governing. Thank you. Governing. So it's governing our life, the place where we live. And if we could actually use this Dhamma as a sovereign in the society, what do you think the society will be like? So peaceful, isn't it? Yeah? Different. And then a shelter, safety for everyone, human and other beings. So you don't have to worry that you will get hurt. I read a Chilliwack Progress today, and was it a Chilliwack Progress? No, it's Chilliwack News. An old lady was finished shopping, and she was walking towards her car. It's just like a minute away from the car, and somebody was robbing her. And there is an increasing crime rate in elderlies. So in Chilliwack. So, it is not a safety shelter anymore. It's not a safety shelter. So we have to guard ourselves. We have to protect ourselves. Physically, or materially. But here, this Dhamma is actually a shelter and safety for everyone who comes into his umbrella. Okay? So that is how safe you are if you are living in a place with Dhamma. Okay? So he said, even so, O monk, the Tathagata, the Arhat, the perfectly enlightened one, the just and righteous king of the Dhamma, relying on the Dhamma, honoring the Dhamma, esteeming and respecting it, with the Dhamma as his standard banner and sovereign, provides lawful protection, shelter and safety in regard to action by body, speech and mind. In such bodily action, verbal action, and mental action, he said, such bodily action should be undertaken and such should not be undertaken. Such verbal action should be undertaken and such should not be undertaken. Such mental action should be undertaken and such should not be undertaken. He said this, should be undertaken and should not be undertaken. When you look at this, how can you fit this into the Eightfold Noble Path? Which part you can fit this into the Eightfold Noble Path?
Right action?
Right action.
Of course, right actions.
And the first three, so right now we have right action, right speech.
Yeah, okay. One more.
Right efforts.
Who said that?
Right efforts?
Right efforts. Right?
Yes, abstaining from killing food.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one.
Bodily action is killing.
Yes.
Bodily actions include killing, stealing, sexual misconduct,
Yes, yes.
right? And intoxicants. Verbal actions include no lying, no gossiping, no slandering talk, and no divisive. Okay, and then what is mental action? No.
No unwholesome thoughts.
Wrong view.
Wrong view. No unwholesome thoughts.
3 great poisons.
Greed, and delusion, and hate.
Yes, great. Craving, anger, hatred, and ignorance, right? Remember the 3 big poisons. Huh?
Can you say them again?
Craving or greed, anger, hatred, ill will, animosity. That's the second one. The third is ignorance. Ignorance. Okay? You will remember this because we constantly go back. So should be undertaken and should not be undertaken. We can fit this into the right efforts. The 4 skillful endeavors or right efforts. Okay, so for this, it says that with the arisen, unwholesome deeds, if it has not arisen yet, what do we do? If we do not have those seeds, what do we do? We know those seeds are unwholesome deeds.
Don't invest in them.
Exactly. We prevent planting them, right? What about if it has arisen? I know that I have these unwholesome deeds, these seeds in me. What do I do?
Don't nourish it.
Don't nourish, yeah. Overcome, and then eradicate, abandon them, right? So this is like this little piggy pulling out the weeds, right? Pulling out all these weeds. So what about the wholesome one? If it has not arisen, but we know this is the wholesome one, what should we do?
Nurture it.
Nurture so fast? We don't have it yet. Plant it and cultivate, right? You need to cultivate the land. You need to plant those seeds, right? Then after that, what do? You nourish it, you nurture it, and then it will grow and multiply. Do you maintain it? Yes, you maintain it, right? For those good deeds, good seeds, you maintain and you multiply, right? So this is like those tulip bulbs. Every November, every summer, after it bloomed, you dig it up, put it aside. November, you replant them. So the little bulbs will become big bulbs, right? And the big bulbs will become bigger bulbs. And next year, you've got more beautiful tulips. It's a very short. I'm not going to go into the 6 directions. It's a very short paragraph here. It's actually a very short subsection, but it's actually very important basic Dhamma that we need to constantly remind ourselves and constantly remember. All right? That's why I want to spend tonight just touching on this to refresh your memories on this. Okay? So remember this little piggy and remember these tulips. From now on, let go of the past. From now on, we keep pulling out the weeds. We keep planting those wholesome seeds, and we keep nourishing them, nurture them, allow them to multiply, maintain them. All right? So, let us reflect a little bit. So who is the real protector in this world to us? The God, the Buddha, or the Brahma?
The Dhamma.
So good. The Dhamma. But who practiced the Dhamma? So who is the real protector? Ourselves with the Dhamma. Our Dhamma mind. Yeah? So we don't have to answer that one. How can we protect ourselves? Do we rely on God? Do we rely on the Buddha? Do we rely on other humans? Or do we rely on Brahma? We don't rely on anybody. We rely on the Dhamma to what? To correct ourselves. Right? We rely and study and practice the Dhamma to correct ourselves, to change ourselves, to transform ourselves, and even to transcend ourselves. Okay? How can we see this in today's world? Can today's world really, can we rely on today's world?
It's such a mess out there.
It's such a mess out there. It is.
Huge mess out there.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look.
But there are still good things there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be too pessimistic.
Yeah.
There are still very good people out there. Still very good hearts. A lot of good hearts out there. A lot of good things out there. Don't be too pessimistic. And is this applicable in today's world? It is applicable in today's world.
I think it is because
More than ever.
More than ever. Exactly. That's nice, Tony. It's really more than ever. We really need to strengthen this more than ever, isn't it? Yeah. That's good. Great. And can politicians apply this rule? Yeah, we wish. More than ever.
I don't know. carried the role of nuns and monks, right?
No,
This,
no,
no?
no.
I think
A king, a queen, a politician can live by the Dhamma. Can live by the Dhamma. There was a king, there was an emperor in China 2,000 years ago in the Tang Dynasty. He actually was a king, was an emperor with Dhamma. And that's why in those days, the Dhamma is flourished so much. Like Ashoka.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
Ashoka was a politician, right? He was a king.
Yeah,
I mean, in those days, I don't know whether they had politicians, but at least he was a king. He was a cruel king. But later on, he changed to become a Dhamma person. And he ruled the country with Dhamma. And it's possible. It's possible.
I think it is possible if they get into politics and remember why they got into politics.
The intention.
Yeah.
The intention is very important. And I think it applies to everything. It applies to every profession. Doctors, teachers, everybody. Right? Yeah. So
I'm just thinking that Gandhi was a politician.
he was, wasn't he? Mandela was a politician.
Well, yeah, he ruled the country at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So wouldn't this world be a better place if everyone follows the righteous efforts of bodily, verbal, and mental actions? That's the most ideal. That is our, what do you call? Utopia? Is that right? Yeah, utopia, yeah. There was a movie called something like that, in the old movie. 世外桃源嗬，嗰套戲啊，有套戲咪叫世外桃源，中文嚟 I can't remember the name of that movie. It's a Western movie. Yeah, old movie, 70s, 80s. It's past your age, sorry. You must have seen it.
Is that what it's called? Utopia?
No. I can't remember the name. Yeah, Shangri-La. Yeah, Shangri-La. Have you watched it before? Oh, okay. Oh, you watched it before. So that would be a Shangri-La. Our world would be Shangri-La. But we can make our world as a Shangri-La. At least our home. At least the society that we are in, the community that we share. We could make it a Shangri-La. Can we? We can, right? Let us make more Shangri-Las, okay? Let us make more Shangri-Las in the world, and that world will be a much brighter world for us, for our next generations and many generations to come. So, all right, here you go. May these blessings extend to all, that we, with all the other living beings, together will attain the Buddha way. May we wish more and more people will encounter the words of the Buddha, study them, practice them, and help themselves to liberate from all the defilements, afflictions, and be ultimately free, happy, and peaceful. Good.